Station, everybody. Welcome to episode 19 of Supreme Clientele. Me and my boy Link. We're here November 8th, 2023. Man, I can't believe the year has gone by so fast, and we're already moving towards Thanksgiving. Going to be in the throes of holiday season before you know it. Everybody's going to be angry and impatient with each other, as if that is the status quo. But Link, thank you for joining me, my brother. How are you doing this week, man? How's your week?
I'm doing well. It's been a week. I mean, not a week, but it's just can't believe it's already Thursday, or
Yeah,
Wednesday. My days bleed together, but
I feel you.
like you said, I was just thinking the other day. I was like, Jesus Christ, sir, we're already doing David daylight savings time. I felt like we just did spring forward. Now we're doing fall back. But it's been a good week though. Can't complain.
Yeah, can we go ahead and bitch about that for a second? Like, we need to get rid of that. Like the whole pitch black, and it's already messed up my household. Everybody's on a crazy sleep schedule. Um, Kids didn't know how to act yesterday. I don't know. The fact that it's like gonna be, pitch black at 5 o'clock for quite a while now, I'm not with. I thought we were moving towards away from that, but I guess we're just kind of like stuck in the middle, and that's we're just gonna work it out. But I think the U.S. is we're the only country that does that, right? I think
I'm
like
great.
we're holding out
I'm
that
not.
and the metric system.
Well, yeah, that as well, but we're always a little behind in some aspects. But yeah, it was like an illusion back in the day. Like you feel like you're gaining an hour, but you're really not gaining shit. It's just we're just switching things around. We're not gaining or losing anything. So it's a weird thing. Let's
I
do
know
away
it
with the
is.
whole thing.
It is. It's just too early to like five to 30. Like it's getting pitch black. It's just I don't know, too early. And like I get up early, so I like it still being dark when I get up. But now like I get up and the sun's already coming out, and I don't know. Throws my whole deal off. But yeah, I'm with you, Vern. That shit.
Yes. Give me
But
1 second.
yeah, man, I
Sorry.
thought I didn't get to I didn't get to get into the PowerPoint for it, but of course Gen V wrapped up this week. I don't know if any of you guys out there in TV land have been watching it, but had a pretty strong finale. We did get a guest appearance from one of the members of the boys. It looks like there's going to be some tie-ins with the Gen V and the boys moving forward, but I thought it was a pretty solid.
I
Really,
messed up.
like I think Gen V as a whole surprised me a lot more than I was expecting it to, and really kind of elevated that whole IP and made me, I guess, more interested in it moving forward, because I had kind of like fallen off the boys a little bit, but I think like moving forward and seeing how Gen V is definitely going to have a part to play in the boys and vice versa. Um, I don't know. I thought it was a really strong finale. What were your overall thoughts on episode 8, bro? Without getting into
Uh oh,
spoilerish
no spoiler
territory.
territory. I thought it was well. The overall of the series, I think they did quite a good job with, in terms of, I feel like I was just talking about this today, but that's something like, John, it's something that some franchises suffer from is like Game of Thrones. Like they got out their main chunks and stuff, and there was all this talk of all these spin-offs and stuff. And finally we got Blood in the House of Blood and Dragon, whatever, which is solid enough, but I don't know if it like did its job in terms of really fleshing out. I don't know. Maybe Game of Thrones didn't need its world fleshed out, but Gen V has done a great job of like fleshing out a world that was already pretty much fleshed out. It added more layers to it, and I didn't. When I heard of it, I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. But I didn't expect too much of it, and now it's just on par with the boys. I think I still enjoy the boys a little bit more, but this is definitely up there in terms of its caliber. But no, I was
Yeah,
impressed with this episode. It was fine. The cameos. Now that's how you do cameos, right? They don't you don't spoil them before they come out. You don't hype them up. You just let the viewers see them. You let the viewers react to them. That's how you do cameos. It wasn't forced. Yeah, you know, I don't know. They just utilize that super well. Hopefully we get to see this kind of like accumulate or to tie into season 4. What is it? Four
Yeah,
seasons of the
season
boys?
4, which apparently is ready to go, right? I think,
Really?
or they got I don't know, most of it in the can. So hopefully,
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they need to stop waiting like every other year to. Was it every other year? We got season 1 in 2019, then season 2 was like 2021. Was it? Or was it season 3 was 20? I don't
not
know.
sure, bro.
Speed up the process.
But yeah, I think that's a good point. I think about with like the House of the Dragon and like how sometimes spinoffs can kind of drag and like not completely carry, like first of all carry the enormous weight of like whatever franchise they're representing, but also like add to it and add
Right.
nuance to it and further depth. And I think like they did a great job, especially by going younger with it, tapping into a younger demographic, but making it like I like how they pull back on like the hardcore gore and the sex of it, but not all the way. Like,
Mhm.
but it still felt like a little bit tempered down throughout. But yeah, I don't know. I do think it's Fantastic. Frankie was talking about this on our IG. I do think it's disturbing how many people empathize and find uh, a hero in Homelander versus I think like the all the other nasty bits that you're supposed to see there. I don't know. It's a little concerning. I feel like with the status quo, like a lot of people, I don't know, carry that guy's
'Cause
lunch more than I'd like to see. I guess, but it's just weird. I don't know.
I think it's a testament to Anthony Starr's acting ability of bringing Homelander to
Yeah,
life because
yeah,
there's such an endearing quality to his Homelander. I'm not too familiar with the comic version, but from what I've heard, that the way characters are pieces of shit in the show, they're even more so in the comic book. So I can imagine that Homelander's pretty much a dick. But yeah, it's like he's like got this element to Homelander where it's like his Homelander is evil and a dick, but he's like his vision is this cube. Like he's got the element to it. Maybe if he just shown a little bit more love, like he wants to do right because he's been controlled his whole life and used and fucked over. He's kind of got like this vengeful streak. He's like a kid lashing out. But it's like an element to him where he's not completely. He wants to be good. There's certain hints of him wanting to be bad or wanting to be good, but he's super easily manipulated. We saw that with the chick who was controlling him in season 1. I think she was at the beginning of season 2, or she got killed off pretty early. And then season 3, that German lady, the secret Nazi hero or whatever she was.
yeah.
Yes, front manipulated the heck out of Homelander. So I think that's a testament to Anthony Starr. But no, you're right. He's you shouldn't be standing behind him. He's not in the right.
Yeah, and I like how they I don't know, how do I say this without ruining that they incorporated like certain characters from Gen V had backstories that were affected by monumental events in Gen V. I mean, in the boys, like not to like get too specific with it, but the plane crash with Maeve and Homelander when Homelander blatantly could have done something besides, you know, uh, coming in there, deciding he couldn't save the plane, and then like lasering people who were trying to get out or whatever. I remember that scene I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I thought that was really brilliant touch of like having some of those people be on that plane be tied into like some of these characters' arcs and their backstory in Gen V. I thought like little moments like that. That was like I thought they did a really great job of like sowing those seeds early and just like watching everything kind of like come to fruition.
Tissue and stuff.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
so like when that moment hit, I was like, hell yeah, dude, that's a nice job right there.
Yeah. No, yeah, I gotta applaud him, man. I was expecting to be entertained, but I didn't think it was gonna be top tier quality like it is. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, great show. I definitely any of you guys out there who are even slight fans of the boys who, you know, want to see something maybe a little bit diluted and not like as hardcore and in your face 24/7, I definitely recommend Gen V to y'all. And, you know, people that are hardcore fans of the boys, I definitely think it's going to be worth checking out based on the storylines and some of the characters that might be popping up. I think there's definitely going to be some interweaving there going on and some crossovers. So, yeah, bright things. Hats off to Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen and all those people on the production team and that made that happen. I really thought it was kind of a cash grab at first, and I didn't think it was going to be something this deep and nuanced and give all these different characters, like just the job they did with all these different characters with their back. Like we talked about that last time before we almost got banned, but like with Kate and Jordan and Andre, like I just thought like all of them, like what they were dealing with as kids, you know, and what they had to overcome as young adults. I thought that was all brilliant. So I thought it was a really good job. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, brother. I'm gonna let you pick it for comics first. What do you want to start off with? You got Sacrificers, Red Light, and Ultimate Universe. I'll let you take your pick.
Let's go with Ultimate Universe.
Okay. Oh yeah, starting off big.
Yeah, well, this is the one shot, but I think we can agree if you read it, kind of seems more like an end cap to Ultimate Invasion. It probably should have been the 5th issue. It's the missing 5th issue of Ultimate Invasion that they just retooled as a one shot. But this is pretty much just setting up or establishing the ultimate world that was laid out at the end of Ultimate Invasion. The Maker is still locked in his dome in the city. And right now, people are vying for positions of power. Like I guess he had like a round table of people that he, you know, ran regions of the world. And now they're all trying to usurp the vacuum that, you know, has been left in his absence. We start off with this still trips me out. You know, it's like on paper it's Iron Man and Doom, but it in reality it's Reed and it's young Tony who's going by an Iron Lad, which I think was really cool. I'm glad Iron Lad's in the mix. I'm glad they brought that back.
Agreed.
That was cool. And you know, I was thinking about that. How we're trying to figure out if it was implied, insinuated that Ultimate Kang was Tony, you know, and I thought that was so cool if you know they turned him into Iron Lad, because in 616 proper, Iron Lad was young Kang who grew up to be Kang. So it's like Iron Lad becomes Kang. It's a cool little spin. I appreciated that once I like sat back and looked at it. So we open up with our two only heroes, I guess you could say at this point, Reed Richards' Dr. Doom and Tony Stark's Iron Lad, and they are breaking Thor out of prison. And it was very reminiscent of Brian Michael Bendis' New Avengers, the opening arc. Remember when they're on the raft and Sentry's in prison?
Yes.
You know, sitting there disheveled. It gave me vibes of that. But you know,
everybody like doesn't Cap have to like go down and get on one knee to him? He's like, "Look, man, I know you're really fucked up in the head, but like we need you, dude." Like, isn't it something like that?
Even that doesn't work, bro. He ends up they give him the speech, but then he's just like, "Nah, shut my cell, man."
The void is coming for me.
Comes out of nowhere, and he's like, I guess the speech got to him, but you know, at the last second came out of nowhere and just helped rescue them. But this is similar to that, but they're explaining to Thor, you know, the Maker's gone. We're here to bust you out, man. We need your help. And it turns out Thor's been sitting in here the whole time that this new Ultimate Universe has been established on his own accord. You know, people somehow were not aware that he could control Mjolnir. I don't know how. And we see that Lady Sif has been given the burden, the task of making sure Thor does not get out of his cell. And she's one to reckon with, should I say. So we see here that, you know, Thor's like, "Yo, woman."
She had when she was like, "Oh, are we gonna fight?" I so do love it when we fight. I was like, "Okay, Sif, talk your shit." I was like, "Okay."
That was a little. I was like, I wasn't so sure how I felt about Lady Sif being a focus when I saw like preview images of this, but this Lady Sif I can get behind, bro. I was like, "Oh, I like her. She's excited at the hint of battle, man." But yeah, Thor's like, yo, I need my hammer. They don't want to give up the hammer. He's like, yo, I wasn't asking. I was just telling you I'm taking my hammer. And so, yes, absolutely. I don't know if it's
Greedy.
it, but E, do you think that this would have gelled well as a fifth issue to Ultimate Invasion? Like, you know, because this takes place like maybe what 2 weeks after Ultimate Invasion ends. Like, I just feel like this is the fifth issue, and they retooled it as a one shot because they know that it get more sales. I don't know.
See, and that's news for me. I didn't even know it was a one shot. I thought it was going to be like another 4-issue joint or something. But the fact that it's a one shot definitely begs the question: is like, why not have it as the end cap to your Ultimate Invasion? Because it definitely seems in line with all those things. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I agree. I really agree. But once again, it was probably that at the end of the day. But yeah, we see that Thor needs no help because they're like, "Yo, we'll back you up." He's like, "I don't need it," and he quickly summons Mjolnir to his side. We get this new cool ultimate rendition. If we can get Ultimate Mjolnir back, bro, the look of it, the axe that was like a axe.
Yes,
I'm so happy.
I was in the same boat. I was like, man, yes. I was like, give me that Ultimate Thor back. I thought we were getting it back in like full force, but not so much. But yeah, like at the same time, it was a great jailbreak. And then I love how like Sif is. I don't know if I can find it. You know, they're trying to get out of there, and Thor's like, you know, stand fast or whatever. And Sif like makes that jump. You can see in that top left corner, and she ends up getting teleported away with them. I thought that was a cool little added touch that she's now in the mix. Kind of like a Jiminy Cricket conscience type deal. I feel like she's gonna. I feel like she's gonna kind of help like, you know, steer them in some way. But like we immediately find out like where they were going. They're going to find a way to get Cap out of the ice, which should be pretty self-explanatory, I think, right? Like Thor's ready just to bust him with the hammer, and I don't see why that wouldn't work. But then they're like, "Hold on, we don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't know if we want to let this guy out of the ice, or you know." I guess for the most part, it seemed like they were hesitant on not only if they wanted to let him out, but the ways they wanted to. Like if they wanted to let him out and like to ensure that he's still Cap when he gets out, and that his blood is like they were talking about, his blood's augmented and all that. He's still got the super soldier serum in him.
Yeah, I read it as more of a way as like they could get him out quickly, but they don't know the ramifications of what would happen, like health wise. Because I know Ree had said something about replacing his blood with like nanites, but then they're like, "Yo, his blood is tied. His power is tied to his blood, so we can't do that." So I Thor is like, I think Thor was like talking about like, you know, if worst comes to worst and all, you know, shit hits the fan, I'm gonna come pop you out of here, regardless of what they say. You know?
I like that and respected that. He's like, look, we might not know what to do right now, but if shit hits the fan and we need you, and like, you know, I'm not going to leave you to a fate consigned to being frozen in ice. I'm going to let you, you know, get out of here and not be helpless one way or the other.
Yeah.
Which, oh yeah, but bro, obviously they need him for reasons on reasons. So I hope they get him out of the ice sooner than later. But yeah, more I guess postulating and determining like the next course of action between like, and there's some more Sif and Thor banter about I'm not your prisoner or whatever. You know, Sif's like, look, listen, motherfucker, don't forget what status quo was, and we'll have to get back there eventually. But so they decide, okay, so we need to get to Latvia where the maker has prevented all these superheroes from superheroes, right? He's got all these relics, these giant vials, which hold approximately like 100 heroes relics / starting points like per. So all right, we need to get transported to Latveria. We can transport us and you know, blink of an eye, of course. How do you say it? You say it so beautifully, bro. You say it like a millionaire.
Millionaire. Oh, I used to say millionaire.
Say it with that joie de vivre, my friend. Hello. Yeah, so, immediately they're in that area, secure loose. Obviously, homeboys city. It's not going to stay. They're trying to figure out how to get past the gate. Thor obviously smashes it or whatever, and they're like, "Damn, how many of these things do you have, bro?" Like just looking from there, it's what 2, 4, 6, 8. It's like at least. So that's 1,000. Like obviously he's been on it and hasn't anybody slipped through the cracks. Not even the B team or C team players, it would seem like. So they're like, all right, so how many of these can we transport at a time? And he's like, I got my hammer, we're good. Like just say the word. I'm an Asgard guard. We can Asgard god. We can move all these if we need to. But unfortunately, right there at that same time, of course, we get Captain Britain with the sword from the back. Boom. Um,
Jamie
and
Braddock.
he's the late night security guard. So yeah, he incapacitates Thor for a minute. Everybody else does battle. Eventually, Iron Lad gets his hands on his. Actually, yes, it is Eric. I'm glad you brought that up. Super chill.
That's what
Freaking
they do. They pay all their
5.0 on 5.0 on TripAdvisor or else. So yeah, everybody book a vacation. Seriously, book a vacation. Um, But yeah, eventually Iron Lad gets control, like grabs a hold of Kevin Britton's skull and freaking blinds him in one eye. Pretty badass scene right there, where top left, where he grabs him and blasts him. Thor's able to like collect himself enough for them to transport one of these, just one. Unfortunately, not any more than one of these, like anti-soup, soup happening columns out, and they're good with that. So they kind of go from there. We have the aftermath. Captain Britain reporting back to the people that the Maker had originally divvied up the Earth to. Right? We got the
Yep.
Hulk and who else is on that screen, man? I forgot.
Khonshu, Madam Hydra, the
Yeah,
Braddock,
that's right. Yeah.
Sunfire, and Silver Samurai, the Rasputins, Colossus, Magic, and Omega Red. It looked like, I think.
And so their bright idea is to stage a terrorist attack using Stark Tech, which is what this looks like. What was the satellite called that Stark built way out in space?
It was like Stark Stain, but it had a giant S and it had their names.
Like this is like something like that, which they're gonna use to like repurpose.
Are you talking about when Tony built like that giant weapon to absorb?
Yes.
Like
what was it called?
Gun, the God Killer, I think it was.
Yeah, but it had some.
Oh, the Dyson. I had Dyson Sphere.
Maybe that was it.
I can't remember.
But like obviously, I mean, how many of these? He's like worse than Elon with these, world-killing satellites. He's got like how many Death Stars does Tony Stark have in the atmosphere? Anyway, yeah, they decide to repurpose one to basically, and we're going to use the name on the product to push the blame onto, which is not a bad idea on Hulk Sport, I gotta say. At the end, Tony starts having, as they're activating the satellite, Tony starts having some adverse reaction. It seems like with his own, or Iron Lad does, because he like, where was it? I thought he.
I think it's I wonder if that's
up.
I think that was him activating his like. I think it's prototype time travel armor or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Moving them out because the blast was coming right for them.
Oh, okay, good call. But yeah, he so like it's the aftermath of the attack basically. And there's like people are still trying to figure things out, but obviously the blame's getting pointed that way. And then at the end of the issue, like you were talking about the other day, we get a 2-page glimpse into Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men run, which looked intriguing enough. We got Armor looking in the mirror and pulling out God knows what from her forehead.
You know what, bro? This little short story, it's very inconsequential. It's not anything you need to read. you can easily miss this. It's just like armor daydreaming in class, but I think it was trying to give you a preview of what the visual style for Momoko's Ultimate X-Men is going to be. And it brought to mind when Bendis ended his first arc or of Ultimate Spider-Man, it was like Bagley and then Amoan was on it for a little bit, but then it ended and it was renumbered and he came on and it was like David LaFuente, I believe was the name of the artist. But he had a very anime style. And I remember there being a lot of people didn't enjoy it because they're like, yo, how are you going to go from Bagley, who's a classic comic book artist, to this? I mean, shit, the same people saying that weren't happy when Amoan came on, and Amoan's a very great artist. But this gave me vibes of that, where I think that, they might be trying, what's the biggest, one of the biggest read mediums right now in the world is manga, and Peach has a very manga style, and that's actually smart on their behalf, trying to tap into the audience. It's like kids aren't really reading regular comics, but they're reading manga. Maybe if we put out one of our biggest teams with a style that's hot right now, we can, that's what Ultimate Universe was always. The primary goal was always about getting new readers, that didn't want to be weighted down by years of continuity. They wanted something that felt a little more something they could relate to. This is that. So I'm extremely excited to see what Peach can bring to the X-Men after seeing this little. Think we'll see some cool body horror or like powers presented in really unique ways seen before. So I'm excited, bro.
I'm right there with you, man. Like I think what she can do visually, like with her art, more just as much as her storytelling is astounding, and I think she's proved that. And I think people should give her the benefit of the doubt and go into this with an open mind. Now, of course, that's not what's going to happen, but yeah, and I completely agree with what you said about the Ultimate Universe. Like we kind of got all of that has kind of gotten lost in the mud with all these relaunches and all this shit. But yeah, it was like a radical, not just a break away from what you used to, but a radical break away from that. And so,
absolutely,
if we're doing the Ultimate thing, let's do it right. So I'm all for that, dude. Yeah, and this was cool to see. Like I love that how she's going to keep it real to what she knows and does best, but at the same time, it's going to have that that new edgy X look to it, and I'm excited to see what she cooks up. Again, there's people out there that I think are not going to be happy no matter what, but I'm going to give it come into it with open mind and I have high hopes for it for sure. All right, I'm going to pick one of mine. Let's do Detective. All the hair smellers, for all the hair sniffers out there in the crowd tonight. Your boy Ron V. So this is a book like I kind of fell off of. I just jumped back onto this off of Nick's recommendation and Robbie's about how good it was. I started at the beginning of the Orgum saga and all that, the Azur and being on the influence, all that. But like this issue just looked enticing because of the like it was Ron V writing just basically for a bunch of different artists, and I think it really paid off in some cool ways. You got I think Jason Sean Alexander here on the first go, and dude, this panel on the right, they ended up making a cover, but I just love this beginning, like this dark brooding, like Batman in chains type. I love the McFarlane-esque cowl with like it kind of like curled up there on the top. I thought that was dope, dude. The art throughout this, whether it was Liam Sharp, whether it was who else? Bugatti or whatever, whether it was
who did the
Jason Sean Alexander, whether it was what is it, Mittenhouse, who did the Renee Montoya story. That was good too. Like I loved them all. I love the art throughout all these stories. I thought it found its own way to work with the aesthetic and what was going on. But I thought this was a great way to open it. To me, the two strongest ones were this and the Liam Sharp. But I like that Renee Montoya question story a lot. But yeah. So Batman is. I love the imagery here. Batman has got this Azure in his mind. He's trying to hold on to these precious few memories. The more you fight it, the more it eats away at your core memories of what you have and who you are. I love this Barbatos on the right. This Barbatos holding off like the wolf that is the Azer, and like you got Alfred and Bruce like underneath the bat, and like we can't hold them off much longer, boy. I thought that was like such a brilliant um image. I just love that so much. But yeah, so it moves on. Homeboy, and like he's talking back to Homeboy. Homeboy's like, "How are you fighting the influence and this and that?" So obviously, like a typical Batman under complete mind sedation and brainwashing or whitewashing or whatever, is still able to like retain some piece of himself and come out on top, which I thought was cool and true to the
Yeah.
character. Um, the incorporation of Selena Kyle was dope. We get some member of the Oregon faction, we don't know who, but gives our hint that they're gonna hang him. Like we're back in the 1800s, they're gonna hang Batman in 3 days, and uh, I like how they chose her as like the go-to, not any other member of the Bat family or whatever. It was Selena, um, to kind of stop that from happening. I thought that was cool. And I love that like the eyes here, the Selena's eyes, and whoever this I don't know, we don't know who it is, but uh the perpetrator's eyes or whatever, like telling her what was happening. I thought that was like a great little side by side panel. But I like that they went to Selena. But and then so she's gonna go basically recruit, like a good setup. She's gonna go recruit her team to basically bust Batman out of captivity and stop him from getting hanged. And their first stop is Gordon, who's not a cop anymore and getting drunk at the bar. Who else does she get? She gets what? Montoya, Azrael. This Azrael page is glorious, dude.
Do we see them? Do we see her recruit them, or is it like do we see her recruit Azrael?
I don't think him is just no. She sits down with
But
Gordon,
I
but
got that he's part of the team.
he's right because he's breaking up like this. And I love his little speech. He's like, "Oh, you thought the vengeance wasn't, the vengeance wasn't going to burn, or like, we had forgotten you or whatever." Like that was just, I don't know. It was a great little Azrael speech. It seemed very fitting of the character, and I love the artwork. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Whether it was him or Liam Sharp doing Azrael, I thought it was fucking fun.
I think Liam Sharp did the end story for Azrael. This kind of gave me like Jack vibes a little bit, throughout in certain issues or certain panels, which I could always appreciate. I mean, Jason Shaw Alexander is a fine artist on his own, not to compare him to Jack, but just the style of it was very Jack-like.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Gordon goes to who is it, Montoya, and tells him what's going on, and like, I don't need your help, but I just want you to know like what's going on, and I'm not gonna let everything he's done for me, I'm not gonna let him get hanged. And because apparently he had this reality engine that's operating under the city that's warping everybody in Gotham's mind to thinking that I like how Ram V's playing on that idea of like, you can't hang a man, but a symbol, like a symbol of something that people have really come to that represents something that people people have really invested in. Like that's something that you can execute or like put on public display and hang. I thought that was like a really genius move as far as like writing and storytelling comes. But yes, I guess Poison Ivy is one of her last stops for this deal. But this is dope. Like I like this Ocean's 11 style like caper. Like she's building this team to get him out of there. I wonder how they're going to continue the format moving forward, but I like this a lot. I thought it was very well done.
You know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of Birds of Prey, where they're putting it together with a team. They got to break somebody out of somewhere.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. But I hope they keep the either this like Jason's. I don't know if they'll get Jason Son Alexander, but I hope they keep like this type of aesthetic with the artwork. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd like to see him.
So yeah, this is the Montoya story, who basically Well, this one was what about? She hears
So the dude is
yeah.
insinuated to be a serial killer, and his wife turns him in with evidence, but the evidence, I guess, isn't enough to criminal what it was to put him in jail, put him behind
Yeah, all they have
bars.
is like these horrendous screams on tape. But he says it's from horror movies, and they don't have any way to prove otherwise, right? And the cop
Yeah,
says, like, besides, if it was screams this loud coming from somewhere in Gotham, somebody would have heard it at some point or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, so then she like dons the question mask and is able to like really like travel to different places and really understand like the essence of what's been going on. And finally, she finds out like he's been taking kids on the school play. He's been at the school taking kids on the school playground while recess is still going on. You know, if any of y'all have kids and know what recess is like, obviously you could murder 100,000 people in recess. I could
Chaos on
like
those.
I'm half away from I'm a half a mile away from the school and I can hear recess outside. So like yeah, so he's been and she figures that out through her powers as the question and kind of puts an end to that. And our last story was or no, I'm sorry, our second to last story was yeah, this Liam Sharp, we get Azrael back. They taken allies, what it's like female Bane, and who was this other male? I was trying to figure out
Father
who this
Alley or something like that. I don't know
yeah,
who
like
he
I
is.
don't know who the hell he is either. I understood the female Bane part of it, but and that they were trying to get Venom, and these demons had Venom.
Yeah, she's I guess she I when did she come was introduced at Tynan's Run, wasn't she? Or was that I
I
believe it
forget.
was Tynan's Run. I
I'm
haven't
not sure,
read.
bro.
I gotta go back and read that. But I guess from what I read from this is that she's addicted to it, like she was born addicted to it or something like that. So it's not like Bane where he's just trying to juice up to get stronger. Like she needs it, unfortunately.
Mode. But yeah, I love this shot of like Azrael coming down on the right. I thought this was like the demons in this. Like I don't know. I thought Sharp was on point during this one. But yeah, so they're gonna work together in some type of fashion, I guess, moving forward. But
Yes.
we don't know exactly what how that's gonna work out. Um, yeah, and then he finds the bad suit at the end, and it looks kind of it has slight callbacks to the Nightfall
It's a
suit.
modification to his Nightfall
Yeah,
suit.
right.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going with it. And then this final two story, man, I don't really know what happened with. I guess I need to plug in more
I think
with the
this
main
is
story to understand. So
this might be the dude that was talking. I mind you, this is the first issue I've read in V's Tech Comics, but I think this was the dude that was talking to Bruce as he was locked up at the beginning.
mhm.
That's what I took it as. The I don't know. Yeah, I was a little thrown off by this. But I
Yeah,
think
it just
Dan Waters was the writer of the first two mini stories, the question story and the Azazel story.
yeah, definitely was this one. Hold on, I'll go back and see.
Oh, last page, I think it showed.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
right. Dan Waters on both of them. Yeah. So giving Ron V a run for his money.
You know what?
I'm
Honestly,
just
I
saying.
found because I thought but when I was reading the question story, I had soon by the end of it, I was like, oh, this is a solid story because I thought it was written by Ron V because you didn't find out it was Waters till the end. But when I found out it was written by Waters, I was like, I really enjoyed that question, the little mini question story. I wouldn't mind seeing the series with Waters and
Dude, that guy has not missed here lately for me. I feel like he's on fire, and he definitely needs. Um, I don't know. He definitely deserves. I feel like more stories. That Loki story I
yeah,
felt like was incredible.
yeah, yep,
Just like the way what he was able to invent out of that mythology. Like incredibly deep, like nuanced writer who can find levels to like what he did with Azrael was super crazy. Azrael is like a character I don't know if you read that miniseries. That was super great. Sword of Azrael.
mm,
Dude, that's like a series I would have read normally, but like just going off of somebody's recommendation like two issues in, that was a lot of fun.
yeah.
So
Waters is like hit or miss. I don't, not that he's written anything terrible, but like sometimes I guess I won't get it. What do you like? I read that
Homesick Pilots
Sarcom.
was kind of like that way to me.
Yeah,
Homesick Pilots.
Homesick Pilots a little bit. It was like maybe it's going over my head, and then I read his Arkham series with Danny. What that
Oh
came out, I
yeah,
think it was solid, but I don't know. Like I guess it wasn't what I was expecting, but I do like his voice for the characters of Gotham. The various characters. I really would like to see him do a Renee Montoya series, though.
yeah, man.
Make that.
I feel like they're kind of on the fence about that. They're like, okay, we transformed this like lifelong DC character into Renee Montoya. Like, just go ahead and give her a series or something. Like, don't have her keep being a character in like that. I love the Question as a character, so that's just me. I would like to see more Question.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Let's see. You want to do X-Men or Red Light next, brother?
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
let's do
X-Men is mine. You want to do Red Light or Sacrifices? My bad.
let's do Sacrifices.
Hell yeah.
Get some
This
remedy
might
up in there. Get bloodstream.
this might be my pick of the week, dude. This was fucking awesome. Like, not that it was nothing in this issue was unexpected or caught me off guard, but the way it was executed, I thought was so well done. Like, I think you generally got the picture after the end of issue 3 about what was going on here, but just like the way they kind of shed the light on the inner workings of the gods versus. And I love how we open with like the parents just being completely despondent about the loss of their kid, and the dad doing the drunken toast, like, "Yeah, we are celebrating. We don't know what the hell we're celebrating," and just like everybody else in the party. And the way Rick Remender said this in an interview or something, but the way Max Fiumara conveys emotion, whether it be one of these bird boys, whether it be there's a panel I highlight later in this with the when the son daughter whatever finds out what's really going on with the drinks at the party, dude, the amount of
The
emotion he's
shock.
able to convey like out of just a facial expression or whatever is just like so excellent, and especially with these bird characters and like the sadness and the just depression that they have behind their eyes, dude. It's been
Sad, yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I think it's been
yeah.
just like I want to find more of this guy's artwork and see what else he's done, but I thought he's done such a great job with this, and conveying emotion throughout, whether it be happy, sad, whatever. But yeah, Dad's just kind of like they're having the fireworks of celebration, kind of the grand feast, and we know with the liquid what it came from. Basically, it's pure, unadulterated like happiness and
Joy.
love and
Yeah.
yeah, joy. Yeah, basically, like you deny these kids that have grown in these commonplace areas and amongst these commonplace families like true joy and happiness for most of their life, and then you give that to them, you give them everything they want, and then you siphon that away at that exact moment. Really insidious and nasty. But we see like so this is the elixir that keeps the gods. And I like this issue too because we get a lot of the background workings on what's going on, the politics about who's who. Obviously, this Foreman character is the one who is responsible for, this is my best batch yet. And when he tells the sun god that, he's like, okay, whatever. But he ends up announcing that to the crowd later to like, oh, this is my most refined batch yet, if I may so say, if I may say so myself. So, and obviously the foreman is not happy that he's taken that shine from them. But you kind of get the difference in these characters. Everybody else is happy to drink this stuff. Obviously, the Queen Luna or whatever, who is the sun god's wife, um, wants nothing to do with it. Smashes her glass on the floor, and of course, the sun god sarcastically toasts to her and her righteousness. Um, and everybody
Did
else
you
goes along.
this? The Moon Lady gave me like Frank Quitely vibes, bro. Like it felt like it was like something
Yeah,
Frank
with the textures,
Quitely would
dude.
use, like cassette.
The textures are very Frank
Yeah.
Quitely, I would say. It's very like hyper realized type of deal. Like, and you notice that from when she first stepped in the picture that something different was like obviously everybody's aging, right? But like for somebody to represent the moon or whatever, the queen of the moon or whatever, something seemed off about her. And then now it kind of makes sense, like how she's kind of aging and flaky. Like you wonder how many parties
So,
she's made the scene or like or done the same thing now. Since it seems to happen like once a cycle or whatever. Very true, Sal. Great call, bro. She really does in the face. Absolutely. Um, I think that's probably where the quietly vibes come from. But yeah, so everybody drinks the elixir, and it's fucking telling, dude. A great double stage splash by Ferramara, where you see the effects of this elixir. Basically, return everyone to like youth, like not just youth, but youth. Like homegirl now looks like her daughter. I mean, yeah, putting you back in your prime is a understatement. Um, and it's just disgusting, man. It just hangs heavy in your stomach knowing where it came from, and how they're all delighted about it. And I love
yeah,
this is what I was talking about, dude. Homegirl here seeing like that not only what they do to stay eternally young and in power, but that her father is the circus, the ringleader, the ringmaster of this entire circus. So it's obviously weighs heavy on her head. So she decides
that
she's. Oh, go ahead,
I
bro.
was gonna say like that last panel we were talking about, just because it's like it conveys like a mix of emotions. It's like shock, bewilderment, horror, disgust, all rolled into one page. One panel. So Max Furiyama, bro.
Yeah, and I love that. Like, she felt some empathy with Luna the issue before, and now like she sees, and she's kind of making her like. You kind of know where she's going to go, but it's so quick with her decision. She sees the foreman storm off. Obviously, the foreman's
Oh,
pissed because. Go ahead.
my bad. Now
No, you're good.
is the daughter Luna's daughter, or is it
Dude,
the
that's what I
mistress?
was wondering. Because it seems like she has more of a relationship with the mistress, but then like it seems like she idolizes Luna, like right?
Yeah.
And she looks up to Luna as like so I think maybe she's I don't know. She definitely could be Luna and the Sun Gods and maybe the mistress because it's like you forget at this point, like, but the mistress is supposed to be hush hush as least what they told us in episode or issue one, but
Right.
obviously that's not the case, and obviously the mistress is more aligned with the sun god's values than Luna is. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's either way, I think it's ignited in her whether she is Luna's child or not. She definitely feels um, empathy towards what she's going through and how she feels, and so she sees the foreman kind of storm off. I think this is the dude who also likes to feed on fear. I don't know.
I think he's got. I think he might, but this kind of gave to me like he's trying to stab the sun god in the back. Like he's got a grievance against the sun god. He
He
kind of
definitely
stormed off.
does,
Like,
dude. Because like this panel on the top left, like the second panel down, where he's just kind of grimacing at him. Like we got a bunch of panels like that where like homeboy would be talking and you see him off to the side, like just hating on the
just
side. So
fine. Yeah.
yeah, they were definitely building up the bad blood there. So he storms off, leaves the castle. She decides. I thought this was key that not only is she going to take her dad's magic carpet, but she's going to take a weapon too. Um, she's going to try to get the truth out of this guy. Um, just great, crazy art, dude. The whole hair is fire in this. Is just Fuamara is
Bro,
just
Magic
killing it with this
Carpet.
artwork. I know, right? And then like she's doing the magic carpet ride like around the tower, and she's the last scene is her arriving at the foreman spot, which doesn't look friendly at all. I guess in that confrontation and her kind of getting to the truth of now is going to be the end of the first arc or the first 5 issues. But dude, I'm loving this book, man. I'm loving it so much. I love this issue. This might have been I don't want to say like my favorite issue so far because I feel like everyone is, but like um I loved how like you knew a lot of what was coming in this issue, but it still found a way to like present it to you in a
Like,
original and cool way. But
you
yeah,
were still like, oh shit, you know, even though you kind of knew where this was headed, you know.
yeah, very well said, E. Yeah, how you
Yo,
feeling? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, Marvel, you guys can steal this for me, but you know, everyone's got like a mascot, a sidekick nowadays. I got one for Silver Surfer. I don't have a name, but you know, Surfer Silver, and he's on a surfboard. Let's give him a gold sidekick on a magic carpet. Silver Surfer on a surfboard and a magic carpet, bro, flying through space. You know, that little stream of her hair is what gave me the idea. Like just a golden star on a magic carpet flying through space. Money.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm with it. What's their relationship to Surfer? Like they put that Surfer's like, I found a planet for you can see them. They're like, I don't know, seem like a lot of happy people down there. I don't know if you want to do that. Remember Shalabal? Remember your home?
Right. Don't condemn them.
Yeah. But yeah, man. The artwork continues to be amazing. Great storytelling. What more can you
It's
say?
your average
Dude?
Remender book, you know?
Right.
Just your average Remender. And this
light work.
team of creatives. Yeah.
Light work. Yeah. Business as usual, really, when it comes to this. All right. Let's get let's go X-Men 28 with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I picked this one because your boy shows up at the end of it. We'll get to there. But also because I enjoyed you had me read like X-Men 25, I think it was, or something like that, a couple 3 or 4 issues ago. It was Shadowcat was out there like taking no prisoners, and it was great. So I kind of wanted to get back to one of the X books, Fall of X. Love these Juggernaut
nice
covers. I love this issue. I thought it was really well paced. I thought it covered a lot of bases. How did you feel overall about this joint, dude? Just before we get into specifics.
I real quick, can you go back just a page? I wanted to see that Cyclops.
Yeah.
That's bad. I like that. I like that Cyclops.
I think that's a Del Auto cover. I could be wrong. Yeah. Del Auto's been doing a bunch of X covers.
Oh hell yeah. Del Auto's a beast, bro. But the great issue, I didn't realize I missed last month's issue, so I had to go back and read that. So they kind of bled it together for me. But I thought both were fantastic issues. I like the whole vibe of just Kitty continuing to be a badass. I like the path they set her on.
I like that conversation with Wolverine where she's like, I don't know how I feel about you looking like Ogun. She's like, I don't know if I care how you care about me looking like. She's like, those are Ogun's blades. She's like, boy, if you don't shut your ass up. Like that was great.
Pipe down, Logan.
Yeah, that was a great Kitty and Logan conversation.
But it was a great issue. I think this is ever since the Fall of X has been initiated, I think X-Men has been solid. You know, I can't believe I forgot to read last month, but Mercado. Okay.
Thank you, Sal. Sal's always there when we need him for the X stuff. Or anything, really.
It's true. Love you, Sal.
Yeah, I love this one though. Like, as a whole, dude, I thought this one was great.
Was this the issue? Oh, the Sunfire bits, bro. Like that. This was a cool issue for me because
right? Like,
yeah.
We get that foreshadowing, and like we wanted, like fucking your boy is about to be back up in the mix. So Homeboy's basically on his last legs here, and who comes to save the day? But Father A. Hey,
yes, sir.
Oh,
grandiose entrance, bro.
Hell yeah, dude! I love this, man. I'm all for Apocalypse coming back. Let's get to the chicken.
She's needed.
Yeah. So, obviously we know he's going to be gathering strength. I know he has a part to play. He already said as much in X-Men Red, which is out this week. So I'm excited to see, dude. I'll just be honest. Like, as a '90s baby, I'm ready to see him come back into power and just take no prisoners. But the way that, like, this whole like half-ass we're in and we're out thing with the House of X and the Powers of X and stuff like that, and like now with obviously Orcus coming down on them hard and Nimrod obliterating everybody with the Hellfire Gala, I'm ready to see some like Magneto level philosophy type deal, like with Apocalypse just
Strongest will
coming,
survive.
like yeah, exactly, and like we're the strongest, and we're going to show you this time. So I'm excited to see, especially with Brevoort moving as onto editor with the X books. I have a lot of faith. Like I hope he's on there as that's happening to
Yeah.
direct things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of faith as far as like where that's all going. But yeah, so
Firestar.
I love this part. So do you want to explain what's going on here?
Yeah.
Firestar is a double agent.
Yes. Firestar is our X-Men double agent. When the shit popped off, one of Jean Grey's dying, last thing she did as she was dying was she implanted an memories into Orcus' head, or the primary runners or caretakers of Orcus, that Firestar has been a sleeper agent. She, for them. Like she was never really with the X-Men. She is, but that's what they think. But Firestar's the only one who knows. Well, select few others that will in this issue we see it's revealed, but she's the only one who knows she's a double agent, that she's really working for the X-Men. So it's like Kitty. Kitty saw her a few issues ago. It's like, yo, next time I get you, I see you, you're done. You're done. And so yeah, Firestar. I like that. Firestar. I hopefully after this is all said and done, I'd like to see Firestar on the main X-Men team. If they're going new, I can see them throwing Kamala Khan on there.
I mean, has she not
I'd
earned it for what she's doing right now?
absolutely, bro. To be honest, her and Kitty are doing the most to save the
Facts,
X.
bro. They're keeping the torch lit. Like this whole
Yes.
bit with like, I love this. Like she's commuting with Cyclops through Morse code, and everything
Yeah.
else has got to be like torture and like her being a hard ass like up front. And I love this part where, um, I don't. Well, she goes like before she gets to Cyclops, she basically, or is it after? She goes to Cyclops, and then she basically like, um, she takes out those guards so that Juggernaut can go free. Yeah, she does that right before on the page to the left. So she does that, and she's like, I love how she's like, I don't know how to explain this, but today it'll be another lie. It'll be another big lie. I'll figure it out. Like, or the
When I get
narrator
there.
is like, Firestar doesn't know how she's explained today's big lie, but she'll get there.
Yeah.
And like I love, like she said, Scott free, and then like when Scott's like, give him hell, Kane. Like like even the bad guys and the good guys are on the same page together. And like Juggernaut gets free, and he's like, "Oh, I was about to get out of here. I guess since I see the traitor, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time here." And she's like, "Motherfucker, take this USB drive and get the fuck out of here." And he ends up listening to her, but like, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "Slam me on the ground hard to make it look good,"
He's
Like
like,
she's
huh?
like, "Really sell it."
Yo,
Great art here too. Wow, like I love the way John. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. I would tone down the bold red lines a little bit. Maybe make the red lines a little thinner in his costume. But I do like the whole
yeah.
cataract, Jim Kratoric or whatever. But yo, I just want to say real quick. A lot of people, if you're a hardcore X-Men fan, Chuck Austin's run is not looked fondly upon, right? But here we are, almost 20 years later, and elements of his run are still thriving. Juggernaut with the X-Men. Could he be that bad? I'm just saying.
Talk your shit, bro. Nick says the great thing about Firestar is she has to convince here is that she's a traitor at the same time. Absolutely, a traitor.
Yeah.
Your heart was in the right place, Nick. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. So I love this conversation too between Nimrod. He's like, it's really difficult not to say like, it was you again. You were right there. Like, well, what do you want to say? And she's like, just tells him off, and he's like, oh, I do like her or whatever.
She's like, yeah, I like her. Yeah, I like her.
I love that. I love that back and forth. But yeah, so they have these five? Is it 5 mutants signatures that they've been getting in Latveria? I guess Kitty and Logan And at first, Kitty and Miss Marvel are going to check it out. Of course, Logan's already on the ground, and of course we have.
Before you get into, sorry to interrupt,
Right.
Brad. Just
no. Go ahead.
I didn't know. It's damn it, Marvel. It's like I wasn't really against Kamala coming to the X-Men, but I wasn't like, oh hell yeah, Kamala over the X-Men. I got it as a business move. But damn it, if this issue doesn't warm me up, and it's like, oh, I could see Kamala being the new Jubilee or the new Kitty to Wolverine, and it gets me excited, bro. Like I think that was well done, Marvel. These guys know what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, this is like the conversation we were talking about. Hold on, he's in here.
Yes. And Havoc.
They're gonna have to yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah. So, of course, like oh, where are we? Bitch, you're in Latin. So we got Doom here to save the X-Men, and their slumping sales. Of course, I think he's only going to be around for one more issue. It looks like, based on the variant covers, if I could guess. But always happy to see my boy. Yeah, we'll see what's going on, and what he's ultimately playing at. Obviously, he's got bigger things that I would hope, at least, that he's got bigger things going on than just like trying to rattle. What did they say? He's rattling his saber, trying to. Isn't that what Senator said? He's rattling his saber, trying to get your attention, and I would think he's got bigger things going on than that. So we'll see. Always a dangerous player to leave on the board. So
this is true.
Interested to see where we're going with that next. But yeah, bro. All right, you got one left. You got the racy red light, which I had to edit the shit. We got like missing panels left and right in this motherfucker. Yeah.
I was in a certain mood when I found this book, and I was like, "Let's go for it." Let's.
Fair enough, bro. Do you want to give an overview? Hold on, I gotta jump off like for 2 seconds. But you want to give an overview in the meantime?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'll be right back.
We'll get to it. It's her last name's Wong. She's the writer. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't remember your first name. I've read any of her stuff before. I've forgotten the artist name as well. But I would summarize this book essentially as Westworld meets Steven Spielberg's AI. I'll get to it. Now, the book opens with this girl. I guess you could say she is a lady of the night, and she lives in this place that orchestrates events of that nature. And we find out that she is a robot that is only used for sexual entertainment, essentially. But the first issue is just her narrating her day-by-day activities, what kind of clientele they bring in there. But they also introduce her creator/caretaker. He's called Mr. And he treats our main character. She's one of many robots, but I guess he treats her with the most respect out of all of them, because he built her to have sincere empathy. She's just anything like subtle body movements, people's pauses, their gazes, how long they look at things. Her AI is built to factor all that in and build character profiles on people. So she's really good at empathizing with people and breaking down what their troubles are. But she is a porn bot. Yes, I was trying to give her a classier name, but yeah, she's a porn bot. But she goes. She's not allowed to leave this area, for obvious reasons. And she explains earlier on that one time a girl tried to leave, and we saw what happened to her, and she got decommissioned. We'll just say, and she doesn't want that to happen to her, of course. So she goes outside of the compound one time.
There it is. Yeah, there it is on the right. That's what happened to the retrievers got her and brought her back, and he put like, what did they say? Like he made all the other AIs watch what he did to her.
Yeah. Yep. And so they're not allowed to leave the compound. So she's lucky in the sense that she's the only one that gets to leave the compound once in a while. So she happens. I see.
This is totally right, Sal. That's exactly what she is.
As well. Only she's not designed to build a test. Like she's got some empathy of degree for the Mister. You know, like she feels something. I mean, she's designed to feel empathy. But the chicken ex machina, that she was a test from the jump, just to manipulate human, just to see if she can manipulate people to do her
But
bidding.
he had like he also had like other sex, like the Asian one was basically like a sex bot, and like whole creepy like synchronized dance routine they had. Like I don't know. He
Oh,
also
Ava
had,
was Ava the sex bot in Ex Machina? That was the name of the sex bot in
no,
Ex Machina?
no. Ava is no. You're right. Ava was not the sex bot. Ava, like I forget what the other one was, but like I think she's got like definitely echoes of Ava, and that like she's the top dog among the AI. She's like the first one, I think, or the most advanced one, or the favorite. You know what I mean? In that she's got the ability to move around. She's the only one who's like let inside his like little compound, like unattended or whatever. So all that I think
Yeah.
is going to come into play like down the line.
No, yeah, it confused me because it says she was outside the compound because she was like looking outside a big glass window, and I thought she was looking at the city. But then she meets a little girl, and I'm assuming it's his daughter. They haven't confirmed this, but our main character thinks she's a robot as well at first until the little girl cuts her finger on accident and she's bleeding real blood. She's like, "Oh shit, you're real." She's like, "Yeah, aren't you?" And so they make the one of the security guards comes along and tells the little girl to go to bed. Sex bot or the porn bot has to go back to the room. But that confused me because the little girl said she never left the compound either. So if the little girl is there, so or did they not? And then they reveal that the Mister never leaves the compound. So did they not leave the compound even though she thought she was in the city?
That's
But
what I don't know. That's a
it
good
confused me
question.
a little.
Yeah.
But essentially meeting this little girl and finding out that she hasn't ever been outside the compound, much like herself, kind of is the catalyst for wanting the bot to escape the compound. And that's essentially issue 1 in a nutshell.
Yeah, and it was like you said, it's like where did this girl come from? And it's like I like how like when she sits down, where is the scene? She's coming down and she sits down with this
Right there.
she sits down with this girl, and like the camera is like always watching. Like this drone camera is like always the drone cameras are like always following her and recording her every move. I just thought that was like especially poignant. Like she's never, and I don't think she even realizes it like that, but like um she's never ever like really alone. But yeah, I don't
Have you
know.
seen
Go ahead.
Westworld?
Yeah, the first
Okay.
two seasons.
The good
Yeah.
stuff that it
What a
got a little
show!
wonky
What
towards the
a
end.
show! Yeah, man.
But
I
that's
almost didn't want to watch 3 and 4 just because I knew, like, it just wasn't. I didn't hear. So like, it was a good. I waited on 3, not by accident, just because wasn't able to get to the season premiere and stuff like. But I wanted to. But then when I didn't hear people talk about it with the reverence as 1 and 2, and like, I was just like, you know what, like, it's okay. I don't even need to keep going.
they lost me. I sat on it like you did. I don't know, for that whatever reason. I was just like, because I loved the first 2 seasons. I was like, you know what? Instead of just teasing myself from week to week, I'll let it all come out. I sat down and watched all of season 3, and I was just like, to the point where I've never went back and finished season 4. To be honest, it's crazy how quickly that show lost their way. Like, because it started off super strong. But just like there's a scene at the beginning of this book that's showing her day to day. She like gets her arm broken, and that's what we're kind of like the Westworld stuff, where they're just used as the object. I mean, robots, but they're used as objects, even though they can think for
Yeah, and this
themselves.
dude's like, I took it out, but this dude's basically having rough sex with her, like dislocates her arm for the 100th time or whatever, all because he had a alcoholic abuse his father as a growing up, like, which I don't know. It's kind of
And
like
she's got
mixed messaging, like in like yeah, like this guy who's cared for her all her life is putting her back together, and like he shouldn't be doing that to you, and she's always wanted to read, so he gets her a book for her birthday, like the
Little
one
Mermaid,
like
yeah.
she described him like the one true friend she's ever had. But I love this, like he gets her a book and she's like so overcome with emotion she hugs him, but what do you see right there in like the right hand corner? It's like that drone camera, like that shit is like there. I don't know, I just thought
All
that was like, yeah, how it's like you said, and it's like this completely insulated form of living. So even if she is able to like overcome master or whatever, how is she really going to get out of this situation? Because it seems like
yeah.
super subterranean or super like locked down, and I don't know. And obviously, like she reminds Master of his wife in some weird way. There's some connection going on there, but yeah, we see like the genesis of her first days. You're the first one. You're the first bot with empathy I designed, and so on and so forth. But yeah, and then she meets essentially his daughter, I guess, and but the security guard kind of cuts their. She wants a piece
Bonding
of her
time,
birthday
sure.
cake, yeah, and like they're bonding or whatever, and then they kind of get pulled apart. So interesting to see where it'll go, man. This was a good, an interesting enough first issue though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Sal said, I
Not
think Due Machina, but like a different type of vibe to it. And I'm interested to see where it'll go.
Yeah, it's definitely got Deus Ex vibes.
I think she has enough
A
pimps
pimp
in her
named
life. I think she has enough pimps. Bro, by the way, speaking of pimps, damn it, why don't I have that graphic? Dude, the hair that Manny gave you in that backlog.
Manny, I want to know where you pulled that hair from. Damn it!
Bro,
I felt
you
like it
look
was
like
like
a character
a
from
foul.
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker or something. Like with goldfish
Yeah,
goldfish in your heels or something. Hey, bitch.
I gotta see it splashing in the wind. It looked glorious.
He had you front and center too, like appropriately so, bro. You killed it. Like out of everybody, like you murdered that. It's like,
That was the gift of Manny.
oh man, Manny came through. Manny, if you're out there, thank you, brother. That was more than that. And he said, "Oh, this is all I could get done on the phone before." And like, I wish I had checked my IG because he sent it 5 minutes before showtime, but I just didn't have time to check it. But I was like, man, that dude did all that on the phone, like in like an hour. Like that was so glorious,
Man's
dude.
a god
Yeah,
amongst men.
really. Yeah. Shout out to Manny. All right, last book of the night, Midnight Show. Um, Basically Universal, all the Universal monsters. Okay, so if you read Night of the Ghoul by Scott Snyder and Francesco Francavilla, this has got heavy elements of that, in that it's this old, like never before seen horror film, which basically causes, um, these evil spirits or these evil monsters, or in this case, universal monsters, to come to life. You know, in the real world, and here, like right here and now at this theater that it's being debuted at. The idea is like this film has never been seen before. It's finally getting on the screen for the first time, and of course, when it does, all hell breaks loose, which happened at the end of issue one. We're here on issue two now, dealing with the aftermath. Drax on full beast mode. Bats are everywhere. He's biting people. He's lifting people up out of the air. It's straight apocalyptic, fucking nightmare fuel. We have some of these. So it's a mix of characters, basically like people who have starred in horror movies before, and people who are starting this, or some of these like horror films before, and like you have movie theater workers, you have just regular everyday citizens, you have like the movie theater manager. All these people are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Um, Not many of them make it through this issue. Like the movie theater manager gets fucking dragged away by Drake, and
Yeah.
that's the least of their worries, honestly. Um, the town starts getting transformed into like the sets from these monster movies. So it turns into like old London, the fucking the not only a werewolf but a werewolf bitten. What did they call him? He's got some uber name, but
necro
wolf, right? A wolf who's been bitten by Dracula, which is so just next level. Starts taking out like a couple, and you get kind of bonded to this chick here, who with her homeboy is kind of like looking out for people. And then
the movie theater.
Yeah, the movie theater people are like, like me. I'm always going to attach myself to like those folks working for who are out there living check to check or working for a living wage or whatever. And of course, like they're the ones with like the most character and bravado, only to get like bit in the ass. She ends up getting bit in the fucking lips by this thing, who then rips her whole face off. Like that was one of the most gnarliest moments of the whole comic. There on the left.
I had to do a double page. Like
I was like, bro, what? I was like, because the violence up to this point was a little bit more mild mannered, and like there wasn't that much gore. But like when you got here, it's like, damn. And then I like homeboy's like, I'm gonna snap his fucking neck. And he's like, bro, that's a werewolf that's been bitten by Dracula. We need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I know that's your girl or whatever, but like, we need to go.
Illogical.
Yeah. So like, then the mummy fucking shows up. Like it starts getting sandy. The fucking we get, what do they call him? The Dweller, which is basically Swamp Thing. Or the old school
Creature.
like Universal. Yeah. There's the mummy. Hold on. Where was Swamp Thing? Swamp Thing was somewhere back here. But yeah, so like everybody is out in full force. Yeah, there it is. Swamp Thing's there on the bottom right. Yeah. It's kind of like hard to see. They didn't give him like a full panel introduction or anything. Yeah. But yeah, all these Universal monsters are running loose. Basically, they absorb the old man's soul, or the mummy does. Frankenstein, but basically, so it turns out they're all going to be battling. The monsters are going to be battling each other for supremacy. And at the end, you find out Van Helsing is also the guy who made this film. It seems like.
What I took from that was, I think the director or the creator might have starred as Van Helsing in one of his films, and maybe that character from because I told you before this was like, to me it was like Freddy meets Jason, Freddy versus Jason meets the Last Action Hero.
Thank you, bro. The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Forgive me.
No. But I took it as that is the director, but a version of him from one of the movie universes. Just like in Last Action Hero, Schwarzenegger existed, but so did his character from that action movie. So that's the kind of vibe I got from it. But yeah, this was fun. I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't read issue 1, so I read both issues back to back. And it was a welcome surprise. I was like, this is really cool. I'd like to see something like this. I know not everything needs to be translated to live action, but it's cool when I read a book. I'm like, you know what? This would make a dope movie or a dope show, bro. Because they're trying to bring back the Universal monsters a few years ago with the whole Tom Cruise, the Mummy, and stuff like that. That was going to be a connected universe. This would be such a cool way to do that. Like, you introduce each Universal.
And you don't even have to be adult with it or MA with it. Yeah. Like, you can keep it on a level where it's more accessible for kids and still have it be awesome. I completely agree.
Yes.
That's a great point.
Yeah. If you guys are movie people, if you're listening, watching,
I might gotta check.
It's like doing shared universe. All right. People are gonna be like, oh shit, it's like Freddy versus Jason, but it's got the Universal horror monsters. Money.
Right? Like all of them battling each other? Like, I don't know, man. I think it's wide open there. But yeah, I don't know where those things are in contract or who has the rights to what, but
yeah.
Bobby, check it out, dude. It's a fun, quick read. It's nothing crazy, but it's especially for spooky season. It's a fun read.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we pushed you that way. All right, I think that will do it for the books that we covered this week. Let's look forward to next week and what we got coming up. real quick. Batman, of course, continues. We got it looks like the Joker making his first appearance in Zdarsky's run. The Mind Bomb. I don't even know how Gotham War ended, and I don't want it. Like, part of me wants to know, but like the way it seems so dismal. And it seemed like they had such a good thing going with like Batman versus the Bat Family and going too hard. Like as far as like criminal justice reform and all the like, not to get too deep with it, but like I felt like that was a good little storyline. But apparently all that's wrapped up and we're on to something new. And like, I don't know. Anyway.
We should have known if Zdarsky is crossing over with Teeny Howard, it can't be that deep. You know, they're probably not going to run too long with it. We got to blame ourselves for thinking that we were going to get something great from written by Teeny Howard.
Yeah, I know, but I guess it started strongly enough, but it ended rather weakly. I think is the general consensus on Gotham War. I like that we still have Jorge on covers and interiors, though. I hope we get Jorge for the foreseeable future. ASM continues. Killer Tyler Kirkham variant right there. Yeah, dude. That's not even the cover A. I just saw that and I was like, that is sick. I think he's got another one. Yeah, that's Arthur Adams on the left. I was like, that's fire too.
Oh,
you just don't see that many Arthur Adams covers. Like Arthur Adams, we'd love to see more of your art. I don't know. I feel like we don't see nearly enough of his art. X-Men Red, of course, as E said, big things popping over here. I kind of want to jump on this. It's been quite a while since I've read an X-Men Red issue, but I kind of want to see what's going on here, just to get filled in on like the whole story behind Taco Lips's the great Taco Lips's comeback. Hell yeah. Poison Ivy. So I enjoyed this run for the first probably 10 or 11 issues. I've fallen behind on it, but I still think this has been a great one. The best, I think, solo Poison Ivy run ever. Especially like the first two arcs. The first arc especially was really great stuff. But I haven't got back to it since then. I do want to get back to it. Fable said he's going to come through and talk to us about Transformers #2 next week, so I'm hyped to have a conversation with him about that. Explain all these
was he here for
names.
Transformers?
He was. I'm going to try to bring him along every time Transformers is dropped, so he can.
Okay, yeah.
I think tell us. He can tell us the names of who's going on and keep us abreast. Just make us look not like idiots. You know what I'm saying? Rihanna featured on the cover of God's #2, of course. I can't get it out of my head. I'm sorry.
I can see it.
Shazam #5. I want to get back to Shazam. Mark Wade's writing it. I love this Chris Samney variant here on the left. Just a great dude.
Bro, that would be such a great book. I mean, I was thinking Mark Waid on it. I like Gamora, but I feel like Chris Samney would be a perfect fit for a Shazam book, bro. Like he could evoke that magic or that, I would love to see a Chris Samney.
I completely agree, man. As much as I love Dan Mora, I completely agree with you. Like these variant covers he's been putting out just don't stop. Birds of Prey #3. That one we'll probably be talking about that one, won't we, Link?
Sir.
Hopefully we get the coloring right on that one. Uncanny Spider-Man #3 as well. I think I missed #2, so I want to catch up on this one. I like #1 a lot. Yeah. TMNT. I know Taki's going to be reading that one. Killer Kevin Eastman cover here with the shark.
That Jaws homage.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shit.
Punisher #1. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this one. Different Punisher, different whole look for the thing. David Pepos, who wrote 20th Century Men, is on. What is he writing right now? The Children of the Vault, right?
Yes.
We've been reading.
No, that's
yeah.
Was that Children? Okay, Pepos. Yes, I was thinking of Alex Hackman.
It's either that or Dark X-Men. I forget which one's which.
No, it's Children of the Vault.
Okay, yeah, so that's been solid so far. Anyway, I'm gonna read it. I'll see what happens with it.
Yeah,
I think they could have done with a little bit more time between that and Aaron's run. Aaron's run still seems mad fresh, but Bobby, did you read #1 yet? If you did, let us know what you thought of it, bro. Phantom Road #6 is picking back up. Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Waltz. Kind of, I don't know how to describe this one. Sci-fi road trip thriller title, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay.
Thanos #1. Heard good things about this one. Chris Cantwell.
I think Nick's just a fan of Thanos from the Donny Cates run, but I'll give
Yeah.
it a chance.
Yeah. I'm definitely a Cantwell fan from the run. Iron Man did not do it for me. That run, regardless, Alex Ross covers, but run ran out of steam like real like early for me. So, and Chris
Did you like
real hit. It real hit and miss. I didn't like Blue Flame. Like I liked Blue Flame the first couple of issues, but like then it just kind of. So I don't know.
Did you like his Doom series?
Yeah, the Doom. That's what I was saying. The Doom series was fire. I thought he really nailed that voice. I thought he had a great story to tell. I thought he had connections with Kang. I thought everything about that series was great. But like, I don't know, man. Then you put him in like Iron Man in some situations, and they were just like big swings and misses. So I don't know. I feel like he's better, and like Iron Man seemed to go on way too long. I maybe if Iron Man was only 10 issues, he could have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Iron Man was like 25 or something, and it was just like after a while, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here, man?" And it got into like the Hellcat thing, and like I don't know. It just
I'm a Patsy Walker fan, bro.
So am I. I love
just like, but that relationship, I couldn't really ship that. You know, it just seems so out of left field. You know,
and he was leaning on it when the quarterback wasn't working. I don't know. It was anyway. Dark Ride, I like another book I liked early. Like these are books like that I liked early on, but I haven't read in quite a while. Dark Ride is one of those. I think I read 3 or 4. The 3 or 4 first issues are really, a haunted Disneyland built on bad blood with sadistic family members running the show who only want to turn it into like more of a dark thing. I'm excited to see where that ends up. And I think the last 2 are Infield Gang Massacre, of course, number 4. Only got 2 more issues left of that. That's been phenomenal. And then Midlife. This was Robbie's pick of the week for number 1, so I still got to read number 1. I got to get back to read number 1, but number 1 and number 2. Yeah. Midlife or How to Be a Hero at 50. Yeah, I can definitely identify with that. So, yeah. All right, moving forward. PCP this week. We got Nick. Just dropped these 2 today. No thirst trap covers here, Nick. I'm proud of you. We got Punisher. So he's got a little Outrage comic. We got Zawa with the indie. That's an Ani Press book. And then we got what is that? Batman. So yeah, I'm not mad at that. We got all 3. But yeah, both of those are out on Comic Culture right now on YouTube. Y'all check Nick out. Of course, on Saturday, this is going to be. I got the time wrong. 12 p.m. Eastern. Fable, Nick. I'm going to be on there for as long as I can until about 2 or a little bit after. Going to be joined by Rob Fatstacks. Can't wait to hang out with the guys, talk the topics of the week, all that good stuff. Hold on, new flavor of Punisher. Same great fan outrage. Facts, dude. Where's Billy Power Max when you need him? I can't wait to hear what he has to say. What you didn't like when he became omnipotent, changed the world.
But I don't think everyone had the memories of the events of Secret Wars.
I think he's talking about the most recent run when he became the Hand of the Beast and like, or is he not? I don't know.
Oh, Punisher? I thought he was talking about Doom.
Oh, is he? He could be. He better not be. Actually, you better not be talking about Doom, Cable. You're welcome for Secret Wars. Show me another villain who can give you that good of a crossover event. I'll wait. And of course tomorrow night, Iron Man run. Oh yes, yeah. So Iron Man he absorbed the powers of quarterback and became Cosmic Iron. Yeah, bro. And we got some crazy ass Alex Ross covers from like it was basically like a giant Silver Surfer is the best way I can describe it, but it was like it
I
was
just
all
gotta
over
shake
the
my
place,
head
man.
in
Yeah.
with. I
That's
don't even
what
want
we
to pee. God damn it.
and that's so true, Eric. Like this is a great conversation. Like it was a good premise, especially with Tony and his psychosis. But it was like, man, like no, they couldn't. It just went all over the fucking place.
Hey, a quick question. What do you think felt more in character, Infamous Iron Man or Cosmic Iron Man?
Infamous, definitely, because he's always got that. I mean, I don't know. I could say both, but like, I don't know. We just don't see that with Tony enough. Like with Doom, I felt like that was a great, like you said, it in the you said it before, like the way he bounced back after. It was a good bounce back after Secret Wars and like the whole
Yeah,
downfall of that. And like, okay, I'm gonna try to make it right. And
right.
Nick made a good point too. Like, what else is better to what better avenue to do that than through Iron Man? It fits his kind of sorcery and science application perfectly. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
And of course, yeah, tomorrow night, me, Fable, Link. Dude, have you watched this one yet? This was a wild
I
ass
have
ride.
not.
Heard that.
Not
When
yet.
Able Lurks, Argentinian new horror entry premiered on Shutter, I think earlier this month. This is a great movie. I can't wait to talk about this with y'all. But yeah, we'll be tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern on Blood Splatter Chatter. Think you got anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here tonight, brother?
Thank you guys for coming in. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you. You're the best.
Absolutely. Thank you guys as always, for joining us in the live. On my PCB fam, appreciate y'all's support. Always showing up for us. Hope everybody's had a good week. We look forward to seeing y'all next week, next Wednesday at 9. Until then, make sure to take the extra time just to take the extra time, whether in line, in traffic, in a moment of stress. Take a moment to breathe and, be a little bit nicer to those around you. We got the holidays coming up. I know we could all use that extra moment, whether it be with yourself or with somebody else. But
A little bit more understanding.
yeah, man, just try to take a moment, and that's one lesson I need to teach myself all the time. But especially with the holidays coming up, we all got. You never know what somebody's going through, especially with having or not having loved ones around. So y'all move with love and caution out there. Not with hate and ignorance. Especially this week with the community. Don't steal comics, bro. And also, when somebody does something wrong, temper your response to them. Don't go grab a pitchfork because that's not the answer either. You feel me? We've all been in sour spots in our life, so we all don't want to be judged off of one moment. Give somebody the capacity to bounce back and correct their ways. It's not over off of one thing. But anyway, love y'all. Say peace to y'all. See y'all next week. Link, love you, brother. See you next week, man.
Love you.
Peace.